Okay, guys, so here is Dell's very first e-collar session. She's where I want her to be right now as far as the obedience goes. She's doing very well with all the basics. The foundation is where I like it to be before I start the e-collar stuff. So here, if you notice, she knows we're going to do something, so she's hanging at my side, and she's not going to really go very far away. So instead of going right into trying to use the recall to start conditioning her to the e-collar, I'm teaching her to go away from me to the place command. All right. Nothing different than I've done for many, many years. Very simple. E-collar comes on close to the place board. I'm not doing it from far away. I give her the command. She jumps on there. She learns how to remove the stimulation. She learns how to remove the low-level stimulation. Okay. So later on, she knows how to avoid it. Again, the end goal is that the e-collar will only be there when she's off leash to provide that freedom and that safety. You should not have to be using it every day, constantly throughout the day. So the whole purpose of this session is not just looking for the result that you want, but also looking for her demeanor. Okay? Is her tail tucked? Is she scared? Is she unable to take food because she's stressed? No. She doesn't know what that weird sensation is. Electric stimulation is very foreign to the dog. That's why, in my opinion, it's very important to teach them what it is and how to remove it. Again, so later on, we know how to avoid it. That's it. So now I just go back to start creating a little distance by throwing a little bit of kibble for her, having her go get it, and then recalling her from there. And we go back and forth between the recall and the place command, and, just want to see her responding well. Very, very simple. Nothing exciting, nothing sexy. But for me, it's very important that I give her the proper education. Okay? Let me make another note here. Although in the beginning, I do start with the stimulation right before the command. I mean, a split second before the command. Once the dog is trained, and I mean after day 3 or 4 where I'm really comfortable with things, I never, ever use the e-collar before the command again. Okay? If I were not to utilize the e-collar before the command here, I would not get to put the repetitions I need because she's going to respond to me without it. Okay, in other words, if I just ask her to place or I recall her and I'm waiting for her not to comply to start using the e-collar, start using the negative reinforcement of the e-collar after she doesn't respond, I'm not going to get the repetitions in because she's going to respond to me properly just about every time. Okay, so I want the repetitions. I want her to understand it clearly before I start making the training a little more demanding and a little more difficult. Again, I like to start this on concrete or blacktop where there's not a ton of distractions. I don't want her nose in the ground, okay? Because when I'm talking about using lower levels, I want to do it without her in drive in the beginning. I don't want her nose in the ground. I want everything to be very, very clear to her. Okay, so I start with as little distractions as possible. But very quickly, like I said, after a couple of days, then we will start moving to the grass. We will start moving out to more public places, and we will add distractions. That's where the training will completely change and take it to the next level, where she'll become very, very reliable. All right? And the sessions are short. You don't have to do this for very long. I'll do this 2 or 3 times today. Tomorrow it'll be very similar, but by day or 3 or 4, we'll be in that intermittent phase, and we'll be pushing a little more, taking her away from the house, adding the distractions. Again, nothing different than I've ever done, But you just watch the dog. You see her attitude, you see her demeanor, no matter what kind of training you're doing. It's important. The dog doesn't lie, okay? So trust the dog. If I were to see that the confusion made her stress a little too much, stress is important, okay? For the dog to truly learn, there has to be a little bit of stress. But if I saw she was just struggling too much, then I changed things up. So there you see the e-collar stuff is done. That's it. Now we just take out the ball and we just have a little good time together. I just let her be a dog and enjoy herself. And that's how we're going to end it here. I want every encounter with Dell to be a good experience. Okay? I'm going to just hang out with her, spend time with her. I'm not going to just take her in and put her away right away and, go do my own thing. No, me and her are going to just hang out and continue to build that relationship that we already have. But the reason I have that relationship with this dog, like with every dog I train, is I take the time to be with them. That's it. I not only treat them well, but I'm always fair and I'm very clear on what I'm teaching. I don't leave them guessing and struggling, okay? Especially in the beginning. And, I know I sound like a broken record, but we see too many dogs just destroyed with this tool. And if we're going to keep our rights to use the tools we want, especially this tool, well, then we have to do better. We have to do better. There's too much ugly stuff out there on the internet that the people that want these tools banned can use against us. All right? So they can go ahead and use this video, but they won't. They won't, because I don't give anyone a reason to. The well-being of the animal always comes first. Always. And of course, not all dogs are going to be as sweet and easy as Dell, right? But the process is still pretty much the same. You change things here and there when you have to, but you're always fair to the animal and you're very clear on what you're trying to teach, all right? And people are too quick to take that leash off the dog because they see it responding very well with the e-collar on, and then the second the leash is gone, the dog doesn't comply like it did on leash, and then they're cranking up the e-collar trying to get the dog to respond, and that's where a lot of problems come from. So take your time. Don't be too quick to get rid of the leash. I can get rid of the leash quickly because of the training I've done before, okay? So she's not going to be an incredible dog because of the e-collar. She's going to be an incredible dog because of the training and the trust and the relationship, all right? No tool will ever create a great dog, all right? A tool is there to enhance your training. So if the training is good, the proper use of the tools will make it better. If your training is bad, this tool will destroy a dog. So please keep that in mind, all right? Treat the animal right. Be clear. Be very, very clear. And enjoy them. Enjoy the process. The process is the best part, right? And you never get to the end. No dog is ever fully trained. Look at this little girl. That sexy little critter. She's a sexy little critter. She's a little firecracker. I love this dog. Dell is a really good dog. Very sweet dog. But here you go. We're just hanging out together. Makes me a lot more interesting than the rabbit's going to take out from under my bushes. I give her the opportunity to do those things. Why do dogs chase rabbits and chase deer and chase things? Well, it's part of their nature. They're animals, So we fulfill that need through us, and then we don't have to worry anymore. We become the most exciting thing around. All right, guys? Thanks.